Okay. Hopefully everything's set up now. Can never spell answer. What's that? I'll just turn off my camera. Just gonna turn off my camera so you guys don't have to see me eat. This is not like a mukbang. People to add. Hope you guys can hear me. I'm just eating at the moment. I just froze my video so that way you don't have to see me eat. If you have a question, put it in the chat. I'll answer it in detail, coming from personal experience. And also, there'll be a special announcement. There's enough people. Very short notice. I should. back on my video. Is it back on? Oh, no, it's not. There it is. Hello, Harry. Can you hear me? Let me know in the chat. Hey, how's it going, Emmanuel? Long time no see. Remember we were talking way back when. Can you guys hear me? Okay, good. Good, yeah. Again, my video's gone because I'm eating at the moment, and I don't want you guys to see me eating because I don't know. I don't want. I wouldn't think that you guys want to see me eat. If you do, let me know. But I'm almost done eating anyway. But yeah, let me know your questions, and you have me for the next 30, 45 minutes. So. And since I got a new laptop as well, the sound should be a lot better. The sound quality, and just there should be no like buzzing or anything like that. So should have put your questions in the chat. Okay. So Pi asked, "Hey bro, want to know how many months to get a client in a contract is good?" It's a great question. Usually what I like to do is I wish I get my video camera turned back on now. Refresh it or something. I don't know. Well, you can see the picture of me. But pretty much what I do is I do month to month because I don't want my clients to feel stuck or that they're gonna have to stick with it for the long term, because I would want them to want to stay with me, not a contract telling them they have to stay with me. So what you want to do is just be like, you know, make it month to month, but um, make it month to month, but say that they can cancel anytime. Like, you want to make the process as easy as possible for them to cancel. So because if you don't make it easy for them to cancel, they're not going to sign up with you in the first place. And you say, hey, just give me a call or a text, and then you can cancel it. What you can do is you can say, hey, just prepay for the first 3 months up front. And then if you have any problems or you don't want to stick with it, you can get like a refund. But usually if a customer is asking for a refund, then you don't have to, you would want to like propose other solutions. So like for an example would be like, oh, you didn't get them good results of the month, give them the next month free, so that way they stay on with you. Because the hardest part is getting the client. Keeping the client is easier. Like, it's once someone pays you once, then they're gonna pay you again and again if you give them good service. So pretty much once you get that first like invoice or whatever, even if it's a small amount, they're used to paying you, and then they're used to getting something back in return. So pretty much, you just, in short, just do month to month, because you want to give the client like the option to not feel tied down, um and like forced into something. But if you really want to do like 3 month if you want to do like, if you don't want to do month to month, you want to do like 3 month contracts. And then you can always say, hey, it takes at least 3 months to see results. Honestly, if you use Google Ads, you can people can start seeing results week one. I mean, they won't see optimal results till like month three. But there are some like digital marketing services where you need to do that. So if you're doing SEO, you need to do like 3 months, like 3 months plus, because SEO takes a long time. So it also depends on the service. But I'm assuming most of you guys do Facebook or Google Ads, or mostly Facebook ads, I'm guessing. And with that, you can start getting people results within the first week or two. And then once they get results, then you've done your job for the most part. So just do month to month when you're starting off, and yeah, don't worry about doing 3 month contracts and stuff like that, because you just all in all, you don't want them to feel tired and bogged down. Yeah, do you have any? Hopefully that answers your question. If you have any more questions, just leave them in the chat. I'll try to get my video working. And if you haven't joined my group already, be sure to join my group. We're at 1.2K members, which is insane. Thank you guys for that. Um, I've been posting a lot lately because of the special announcement, but yeah, thank you. Let me see if I can pop this out. There we go. Just so you don't see this boring screen. See my group. Any more questions? I'm trying to get my video working again. There we go. Working again now. Restarting. Who would have thought? If you guys are, I guess I can. Thank you, brother. I've joined your group. Super valuable. Thank you. I try to make it to be, because I just want good, high quality content on it. There's a lot of spam that comes through, so I filter that a lot. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate the feedback about my group. So like, what do you guys want to like? Do you have any more questions? Like, do you want to know how like best ways to get clients, getting the results, proposals? Since we're talking month to month contracts, um, pricing your SMMA niches. There's a whole lot of stuff we could talk about. But I just want to answer the stuff that you guys want, because I can go on and on about what I'm doing, stuff like that. But the special announcement, actually, I'll get into it now, is that I have made the content's finished. I need to finish up putting it together and everything. Pretty much, I want to call it the Live First Client Academy course. So pretty much what this course is all about, it's all about getting your first client with no case studies, no experience, nothing behind your name. You just have your laptop and your keyboard. And it goes through it's pretty much my own experience of getting my very first like high paying client without any case studies, without any anything. And it's like, this is like and it's a stranger too. Um it's not like a family member or anything. It was like my very first like stranger danger, I guess, client. So yeah, that's what the course is going to be all about. It's going to literally break down every single thing, all the templates, all the like literally everything you can ask for, like step by step what to say, questions to ask, the discovery call script, how to reach out to those clients the very best way, all that stuff. Because I know a lot of people are struggling to get their very first client, their first or even just another client in general. Um, but this shows you how to do it exactly step by step, all the tools and assets you need to build, to make it as easy as possible to get your first client, everything like that. So that's a little bit about that. You'll be seeing more posts and videos about that in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for all that stuff. But hopefully you guys are excited for that. I want to make something that you guys would enjoy, that would help you guys a lot, and it's going to be very, very affordable as well. So I want as many people who need it to get access to it as possible. And so if I mispronounce your name, Man Manjanath, yeah, Manjanath. Hopefully I pronounced it right. Is it important to hire a contractor for my agency? Um, it's not important, and it's not really. It depends where you are in your agency. If you are just starting out, I recommend you run the ads on your own. Simply just because that way you know what to look for when if you do scale up and you do get bigger. You know what to look for when you're hiring out a Facebook ads contractor, because the problem is with a lot of contractors, and like when it comes to outsourcing in general, if you don't really have much experience or you don't know what to expect, the person can literally do anything, and then you could think that's like good, but then it ends up blowing back on you and blowing back on your client. Especially if you don't have much money, it's really not important to hire out a contractor. Um, I say, like, before even thinking about hiring a contractor, you need to learn how to make sure you're getting appointments and make sure you're getting discovery calls and booked, because a lot of people like to stress about, oh, how do I run Facebook ads, what do I say in my proposal, um how do I hire a contractor or whatever. But then they get all this stuff figured out, and they don't use any of these assets they build because they don't have appointments, they don't have clients. So figure out a way to um, um, figure out getting appointments first, prospecting. That's like the very first step. And then honestly, like how it happens is like once you get to that step, it's amazing how fast you learn that step, because you need to implement it very soon. So you can learn it very fast, implement it. But if it's important, it's not important to hire a contractor for your agency. Simply just because you can run the Facebook ad, you can learn how to quickly do it. If you really want to, you can. You can hire out a contractor, but I would say, make sure they're qualified, make sure you can see like actual tangible results that they've gotten beforehand, and then what you want to ask them is like, okay, what would you do if we're actually working together? So it's like, okay, hey, I have this solar client who wants to generate more leads and get more residential sales. What would you can you let me know, like in as much detail as possible, how you would do that for this guy using Facebook ads? And then you want to see how much level of detail that he says. So if he says like, oh, well, just run a Facebook ad, target their location, and says just have a ad that says, oh, free quote for solar. It's probably not the best guy to go out there. If he says, well, the first thing I would do is like let's make the focus on the landing page. Like he should ask you questions as well. If he doesn't really ask you questions, that means he doesn't really know what much of he's doing. But he'll probably be like, oh, like do we have a landing page already set up? And what's your budget like, etc., etc. He'll probably be like, okay, we're gonna set up a traffic campaign, and we're going to run audiences that are interested in solar, who are interested in green energy, who are interested in maybe even Tesla, because Tesla's very green for the most part, right? Then we would have an ad which shows your workers working on a local solar roof, and smiling or looking at the camera. See the level of detail that they're saying to you when you hire out the contractor. And make sure if they have case studies and results, they should be able to explain how they're able to get those results inside and out for the most part. And yeah, so that's pretty much what you want to think about when you're hiring a contractor. But again, that's not important. The important part is booking appointments. Make sure you have appointments. While you have appointments, if you have those, then you can focus on the next step, which is, okay, how do I turn these appointments into closing calls, proposal talks, and closing those deals? Like, how do I increase my sales skills? And this is just another thing that my course is gonna just dive into, just all of that stuff. Okay, and how many clients can I manage? I mean, that's honestly up to you. Like I can't say, okay, you can only manage 5 clients exactly, because you may be able to handle more, you may be able to handle less. But the point is, if you're stressing, if it's giving you like somewhat of a headache to handle all these clients, that's when you need to start outsourcing. If you're like handling 5 clients and it's like you have free time, and you're not like you're not stressed about you're not too stressed about it. I mean, you should be somewhat stressed just to make sure they get results. But if you're not like too stressed about it, you should be fine. But if you feel very bogged down, if you feel just very like constrained, like suffocated, then that's when you should consider outsourcing. And realistically, so it's all really dependent on you. If you want an exact number, I would say, I mean, with how many clients do I have now I'm working with? Because once the ads are running, you can set a schedule of when like, I would say just start watching out after 5 clients. Just start watching out if you're getting stressed or not, or if you're feeling bogged down. If you're not, that's great. Keep working at it. If you are, then don't consider outsourcing for the most part. Yeah. Hi, Gunem91. How's it going? Put your SMMA questions in the chat. I'm here for another 20 minutes or so. It is Memorial Day. I'm in the United States, so it's Memorial Day, so I'm gonna go out on a boat. It's gonna be super fun. Yeah, but congrats on you're on the verge to close a client. Make sure you follow up when it comes to closing. Just some closing tips. So just because you have the closing call doesn't mean that, oh, you've closed the client, or it's you haven't closed the client until they've paid the invoice and there's money in the bank. Just because they've, I can say for every 10 people who say they're gonna pay me, 3 of them actually do. So I know you're excited that you're on the verge of closing the client, but be sure to follow up and be sure to keep at it with them. Because I mean, there are a couple clients right now I actually need to follow up with, for the most part. Okay. I'm struggling with cold call. No, it's fine. That's actually perfect. That's a grammatically well said sentence. I'm struggling with cold call or cold calling. It's okay. It's fine. So yeah, that's pretty much how you handle your clients and closing. Just be sure you follow up with them. Be sure you stay on top of them before they forget about you or you forget about them. Cold call. So what are you struggling about it? are you nervous to make the phone call, or are you nervous to or do you not know how to like just do it in the first place? So with cold calling, it is scary at first. I'm not gonna lie. When I first cold called, it is very scary. But the thing is, it's only scary for the first two calls. Like I think my first ever cold calls, I think my first two calls was the scariest. But then once you realize that it's really not that scary, and it doesn't take like years, it takes like two calls. Then it's like, oh, I'm just calling, a person, et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, it's fine. So, I mean, I have a good script, but about nervousness, you're gonna be nervous. So that's the thing. You can't like get rid of that nervousness for the most part, right? It's always gonna stay with you. I wish I could give you a magic pill or something that's gonna say, you can easily make cold calls now. But unfortunately, that's not how life works. So I mean, it's just a matter of just making the first two calls. Then once you realize it's not as bad that you're not gonna die, it's you're fine. Um, if you, I don't know if you've seen my video of how to get over the fear of cold calling. I go into a lot more details about tips and tricks and steps that I use to, get over cold calling. One really thing I do is just listen to good music. Like I listen to really just music that pumps me up and stuff as well. So that's one of the tips I talk about there. But also, I heard something recently on a podcast. It's like in the grand scheme of things, who cares? This is gonna sound really bleak. It's gonna sound really bad, but we're all gonna. It's gonna sound terrible. Like we're all gonna pass away eventually, right? We're going to pass away, and the Earth is gonna keep rotating. It's gonna keep doing its thing. So, in the grand scheme of things, making cold calls, sending out cold emails, is not really like going to impact, society or like the world or even you. I mean, yeah, it's going to impact you if they say yes and you get, a client that can change your life. That's a great part. But the absolute worst that can happen is they hang up the phone. That's it. That's the absolute worst that can happen. They hang up the phone. They say no, whatever. If you go to one of my live cold calls, I think it's even on my live YouTube channel. I had a guy curse at me, and I can imagine that like when you imagine it, your mind makes things a lot worse than what it actually is, right? So your mind's gonna make it seem that it's like 30 times worse or more. But then when he actually cursed at me, it was funny. I was just like, is he really just cursing at me? And I was like, you know, I didn't really care. It's like it happened to me, and I'm just like, oh, I found it more comedic than death defying, right? And then I said something else. I'm like, oh, I'm just trying to see help your business grow during this time because I was cold. Like, think of it this way: I was cold calling right in like the height of the pandemic when everything just started. No one knew what to do. So not only was I cold calling, I was cold calling at the worst possible time you can cold call, and I was still getting appointments and stuff. That's how powerful cold calling is for the most part. So don't be scared to cold call for the most part. I mean, it's easier. It's a lot easier said than done. But um, someone is calling me. Excuse me, please. I'll call them back. Um, it's a lot easier said than done. But you just have to do it. And the thing is, what I also really like about cold calling is that everyone is saying, don't cold call, never cold call. And honestly, when I see that as an opportunity. When I see people say don't do something that used to work, that means it still works. It's just hard to do and it's painful to do. But the thing is, if you do it, you know that it's gonna work, and eventually, because if you have my script in the long run, it's gonna work out. So that's with my spiel about cold calling. You know, just remember in the end of everything, like in the grand scheme of things, making cold calls is not gonna kill you. It's like I'm gonna die if someone says no. Yeah, exactly, right? Like Are you gonna actually die if someone says no? You're not. And even if they do, like you're not gonna die if they say no. And most of the time people are nice. They're like, oh, no thank you. Like, thanks so much for making an effort and calling. Thank you. So yeah, that's your like cold calling stuff. Hey Aaron, I just came in really the answer for this. What can I do if I have an SMA agency but I am just starting and I'm not good at I'm guessing pitching clients? What can I do? You have to so you have to just work at it. Plain and simple. Unless you have money to hire someone else to do the pitching or sales for you, you have to work at it. So it's just a matter of just reading books. I think if you read the problem with a lot of SMMA courses, which is why I'm making my first client academy course, is a lot of them don't focus on actually getting clients. They make it seem so sorry. I thought my phone was ringing again. They make it seem so easy to like get your first client. Like, oh, just do this, charge $2,000, boom, you get your first client. It's not as hard as you think, but it's not something that can be summed up in one video. So you know, it's just a matter of just reading, educating yourself on it, and practicing it. Whether it be, like with actual clients, like I have a good sales skills because I got into a lot of discovery calls and I was practicing my sales skills, and then I was like, I had like a list of things like, stay silent, do this, do that, etc., etc. So, what was your other question? Is there a way I can find someone who can simply help me by pitching my agency? Is there, or if there is anyone around who can simply assist me grow and scale my agency? So, the thing is, people are gladly willing to help you, but what are they gonna get in return? So you could have like a partnership with someone who's like, hey, like if you do the sales part of my agency, like you pitch them, I give them the results, then we can split it, or you can get a commission, etc., etc. So you can set something up like that. But the thing is, like I think you need to put in you have to put in the groundwork. No matter what you do, like if you're not good at pitching and you're not good at getting clients results, what it's like, I'm sorry to say, but it's like, what value are you bringing to the clients for the most part, right? So you have to learn, you have to grow, you have to practice, and you have to fail. That's the thing. Like you have to fail at doing it. Um, and then once you fail, you learn, you try again, then you succeed. It's a matter of just doing it, and you can find people through groups. Like people are gonna help you, but they need something in return. Like people aren't gonna help you just not everyone, but people aren't gonna help you just so you can scale your agency, and then what are you gonna give them in return? So you have to make it some sort of like a partnership deal that, hey, you help me and I help you. That's how the world works. That's how the world is running. It's not just, hey, like you scale my agency for me and then, I'm going to say goodbye and whatever. So the best thing you could do is just try to have a partnership, but be sure you have something of value that you can offer for that partnership as well. So yeah, if you're not good at pitching clients, find someone who is. The fact is, I already get some clients, but I am lost a lot of them, and now I feel like I'm not good enough to get a new one. If you've already like gotten like I'm assuming you've gotten like paying clients already, like Gunman 91, like you've gotten clients to pay you an X amount of dollars to run your agency or get them ads. You've done it before, so I don't know why. I think it's just your ego. No, I'm not. I don't think it is your ego that's in your way. And I have the same bias too. Like if I do something and then like it doesn't work with another person, it's an ego bias, and you have to put it aside and just remember that no matter what it is, whether it's the good outcome or the bad outcome, you're learning, you're growing. Like don't even label it good or bad. It's feedback. Everything you're getting is feedback. So you've gotten clients before, so what I kind of do is I have a bias towards that. Like, oh yeah, I've gotten clients before. Just because I've lost clients, like I've lost clients too. Like, don't get me wrong, but I'm more biased and I think about how I've gotten clients before, and I repeat that so that way I keep getting clients, but I also learn from how I lost the clients, and then I, try to cut that out as much as I possibly can. So just don't let your, like, calm down your ego, do meditation, do something, but do not let your ego get into the way. And the thing is, it's gonna happen. Like, your ego's gonna pop up and be like, "Oh, it's in the way now," but you just have to, like, just, if you can know when your ego's getting in the way, and then you can acknowledge it, then you can just easily just simply go past it, because it's just being aware of what it is that's gonna be holding you back. And don't know if my English is okay. I mean, you'll get feedback from people, from for the most part. I mean, if your English sounds really bad, practice it. There's so many courses online and stuff like that can help you teach English. Thank you for the previous comment. I'm currently in Kenya and I'm actually trying to venture in the USA. Wondering if people are really going to trust me since I'm in another country. This is actually a very good question, that I really want to address. So you've been saying, so the question is, I've been wondering if people are really going to trust me since I'm from another country. So thank you for your answer. It is an ego problem. Yeah, I've been there, done that, Gunman. So this is a really great question, and I'm glad you bring it up. So I think a lot of people, they don't, like, I'm gonna be honestly truthful, and because people don't really talk about this. So I need to get my my thoughts straight. So if you're from another country in the USA, there are, like, people say, like, oh, like, just, don't worry about it, or, like, they make it seem like it shouldn't be an issue, but it can be, simply just because there are, like, especially lately, scam artists nowadays. They're from all over. They're from all different countries. So it's like, if you have scam artists in, everywhere, like England, even in the USA on its own. So if you're from another country and the client can see that, and if the cold call, the client can hear that, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. If they're from the USA, because we're like you, like, I get, like the calls I was getting right now, they're most likely probably scam calls for the most part. So the first thing they're gonna be thinking is this a scam? And they're gonna want to get out of it as soon as possible. But you know that now, right? So you have to think, okay, what can I say, or what can I show to the client to make me so it's like I am legit, I am, a real company, or I'm a real person that can help you grow their business. One thing you can do is make it relevant, right? So when you cold call them, you can just say, hi, is this X and X, hey, I saw your business, um, I saw, your business did this. Like, make it relevant and as personal as possible, because like, honestly, no scam or no spam, or even, like, just making it relevant, it just helps you so much more when it comes to actually getting clients for the most part. Even if if you're trying to get clients within your own niche, if you make it relevant, then you'll be fine. And that will increase the trust barrier. The third thing you can do is, ask for, the littlest of information. Like, so don't try to, book them. Don't try to, like, sell the client right there. You just want to say, hey, can I call you back and, like, for, like, a 15-minute meeting so I can learn about your business and, help you grow. Like, don't ask for anything but the meeting, of course, for the most part. So, you want to be as personal as possible. Don't ask for, don't ask for too much. Don't ask for, like, definitely don't ask for personal information. And you want to just try to give off signals and vibes that you are a legit company. So another thing is to have a website. Um, if you have like, I don't know why people say, oh, you don't. I mean, you don't need a website. That's true, but it helps you so much more if you actually do have a website. So just building a lot more trust factors. Like, hey, here's my website. If you have testimonials, hey, here's some testimonials. If you have to have something like, hey, here's my profile. Here's, like, you need trust signals, even it doesn't even matter what country you're from. Like I still need these trust signals, unless they're from like your local area. You can possibly get away with it. Um, you need trust signals for the most part. So have your website. Make your message personal. You know, all that stuff. If you can form an LLC in the United States, you can say that you are a United States business. You can do that as well. So there's many different ways you can do that. Just increase your trust signal. So lastly, where can I get these people to help? Me and again, I've used a cold message people to help. Use a cold messenger, but haven't gotten any clients yet. I mean, how many messages have you sent? That's always my first question. It's a numbers game with sales, with anything. It's a numbers game. No matter what anyone tells you, if they say it's not a numbers game, they're just trying to appease you so that way you buy their stuff. It's a numbers game. Think of it this way. If you reach out to 0 people, you're going to get 0 clients. If you reach out to, if you have a response rate of 1%, if you reach to 10 people, you get 1 response. If you reach to 100 people, you get 10 responses. If you reach out to 1,000 people, you get 100 responses. It's a completely numbers game. So that's what I say first. Like, how many messages are you sending? Are you sending, 10? Or are you sending 100? So, because my message script works, I've used it so many times, but it's not like everyone who I send it to like responds and it's like, wants to work with me. But it's one of like the best. I don't know. It just works for me. Every time I've done variations of it, it stops working as well. So overall, that's where you can find. Like I show you guys in a lot of my videos, like how to prospect. I use Lead Extractor to find all my leads and stuff. So yeah. So just keep going at it. It's a complete numbers game. This is the grind of the SMMA. Like people may make it seem that it's easy, but when it comes to prospecting and outreaching, unless you outsource it, this is the tough part. This is where the money's made, guys. It's not it's not making the sale. It's like getting that first initial interaction. But once you get that first interaction, it's a lot easier to actually sell the client. Do you have a routine before you cold call? I'll get to that. Let's talk about the iOS update. Have you been adjusting with the iOS update? Can we still make money? I know we're about to go into a recession. Well, first off, we can't say that we are going to go into a recession. We kind of already went into one when the COVID pandemic first somewhat hit, but things are getting a lot better. Things are getting a lot better and stuff. So I can't tell if we're going to a recession. Even if we do, I mean, I really don't think so. I really don't think so because everything's starting to open back up and there's a whole lot of money. I think, inflation might happen. I think definitely that, but not a recession. But with the iOS 14 update, so for those who don't know, pretty much what Apple is doing is making it so that people can choose whether to be tracked or not. And when it comes to iOS, and for the most part, people don't want to be tracked because people have some feel like, oh, they don't want people knowing their data and stuff like that, when it's honestly all bullshit. It's all bull because I want people to track me. I want people to know my interests so that way they can sell me things that I'm going to actually want and I'm actually going to want to need. It's just people don't want their personal information out there because they think that bad stuff's going to happen to them for the most part. So people nonetheless, that's just my opinion. Nonetheless, they're going to turn it off. And because of that, if Facebook can't track them, you can't remarket to them. Your spread is not going to be as tough, as easy. So a lot of people have, if they're like really big, they make their own tracking sort of software and stuff. But pretty much with the Facebook ads I run, I just do lead generation on Facebook anyway. So I just do Facebook lead ads for the most part. To get some of my clients' leads for the most part. Of course, you can still make money because it's not like the iOS 14 update pretty much killed Facebook. It just pretty much reduced your reach. I'm not I can't say if it increased the cost and stuff, but it's just pretty much reducing your reach. So yes, you can still make money, but your strategy needs to be a lot more. Your strategy needs to be more on point. And kind of like what Russell Wilson says, you need to not Russell Wilson, Russell Brunson. Russell Wilson's a quarterback with the Seahawks. You need to what's it called? you need to own your traffic. So that means you need to start, collecting email addresses, having an email list, because that's traffic that you own for the most part. Uh, for the most part, yeah, and like it depends, like what you're doing. Like for e-commerce, I think it's gonna have a really kind of bad effect for the most part because you can't really retarget as well. Because that's what tracking is mainly for retargeting. Um, but you need to own your traffic. So this may mean you need to start building on your email list. You need to start doing content to get people to give you the email address. Overall, and this you should do this in general because you never know what Facebook, what Instagram, what Twitter, LinkedIn. You don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna like what Google's gonna do. Like they're gonna do their thing, and the thing is, it's gonna always have a direct impact on you if it's a major change. With your email list, you have control over that. So you will be able to, retarget people through email. You can email them. If you have their phone number, you can do SMS marketing. Even though that's a very touchy subject for the most part. So, um, but yeah. So, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So yes, you can still make money. Just make sure that you want people to sign up for your for whatever you're selling for the most part. Not just trust that Facebook's going to be able to retarget people. Pascal, the message that you sent was hidden for the most part. Pretty much what you just want to do if you want other people to help you is no, what are you gonna offer them in return? Like I was saying before, like just because you're asking for help, like you're really asking for help. Like what of value are you gonna offer people in return for the most part? I can't I can't be able to do the venture in the USA. I'm like all alone. I mean, yeah. So just go out, like try to help other people. Like if you see other people in other groups that are saying, "Hey, I want to have a partnership," that's fine. You can post stuff like that in groups and stuff. Do you have a routine before I cold call? I mean for motivation. Yeah, I listen to music that I really like. I review my script. And what also really helped me with cold calling is I think in general is I just made like the objection list that I give you guys. It's just me just I think that alone making my script like preparing for it really just helped me get past it. It's like okay, because the reason why you might also have a fear of cold calling is because you don't know what to do if they say no or give you an objection. So I just made a list of all the objections I either heard or just could think of. I just thought of anything under the sun that they could say, and I made like a rebuttal to it. Like, oh, like if they say this, I can say this, and then if they say something to that, I can say something to that. So if you just make your own like script and like you make your own tree, like you type it out or you write it out, it really helps you a lot. So because then you feel more prepared, and when you feel more prepared, you feel more confident and less scared that you're gonna make about making the cold call. So yeah, I hope this helps with the iOS update. You can still make money. I'm still getting my clients' results from leads and stuff, but again, you want to own your traffic. But there's nothing to do for me. Yeah, I mean, you with only one client, you may not see the difference. I think it's mostly for e-commerce for the most part because I think just the ability to track. I mean, it's very important for local businesses as well, but for e-commerce, it's 20 times more important. So yeah, I can answer one more question very quickly. Thank you guys for joining the live stream. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Um, Make sure you leave a like on it, and yeah, but yeah, I'll answer one more question. Then I gotta head out. You have any exam? It was really pleasure participating in this. Yep, no worry, Pascal. Good luck on you gotta work. Good luck on trying to find that partnership. But again, make sure if it's a partnership, so make sure you're offering people of something of value. Don't just be like, please help me scale my agency. Just that's not gonna work. You need to be like, hey, like I run an agency. Like I'm looking for someone to help me with sales. You don't want to sound desperate because no one wants to work with someone who is desperate. So my agency on a 1-to-1 membership. Yeah, I'm releasing a course soon that's gonna help you get your very first client. I mean, no matter where you are in the world, for the most part, because these strategies just work with no experience, no case studies. if you go to the description of one of my videos, even in my group, I can show you guys. You can be able to see, like, get one-on-one help from me here, and then here's some testimonials from people. I have a couple more that I need to post as well, because some people who just recently got it. So yeah, so if you want to book a one-on-one session with me, click the link here. You'll be able to go to checkout and do that. You can go in it right now. For a public session, so that's pretty much, I'll post it on. I would use snippets of it to post on YouTube. It's like around 47. If you want a private session, that's a little bit more. I think it's around $99. But yeah. Oh, not this one. So yeah, just use the link in the group right here. If you want to book a one-on-one online session with me, love to help out. Sure. When's the next live? It depends. So I want to make these more often, but it would definitely be like on Saturdays or Sundays. But yeah, I haven't came up with a consistent schedule yet. Maybe like definitely when I'm releasing my first Client Academy course, um, I'm definitely gonna have another live about that. Um, well, I would like to know the total cost that I'll need. And well, I just said it, like, for a one-on-one help for the most part, it's 47 and 99 for a private session for the most part. But yeah, so when I released the course, which is just the first Client Academy course, so for those who came in late, it's just pretty much you're gonna see me live for the most part, get my first client, because I recorded everything along the way, because I learned, because like if you don't record it, you can't review from it and stuff. So you're pretty much going to see me from the cold call, from the discovery call to the closing call, get my very first client. And then it's pretty much not just theory. It's pretty much just like what I actually did. So I'm going to teach you, what I did, the theory, and then you're going to see me actually do what I preach in that live call or whatever. And then I'm going to break down those calls, etc., etc. So yeah, I finished making the content for it. But yeah. So it's just a matter of just organizing it, structuring it, and going out for the most part, right? So yeah, so I'm gonna end the stream now. Thank you guys for joining. I really, really appreciate it. I love doing these live streams. So yeah, um, stay tuned for the first client course, and yeah, and please, I tried to book an appointment with you, but sorry, it was some payment. Um, payments with you. Just email me again. I think you've already tried to email me before, and then you said you just send me another email, Pasco, and then we can talk about it. But overall, pretty much, a lot of I have to charge for these sessions because I get a lot of demand for these, and I need to source out my time. So I want to know what I'm going to get after I make the payment. It describes it literally exactly here. Um, start succeeding, and you'll get my proven scripts that help convert the clients. It describes literally everything that you're going to get here. It's pretty much, I answer all your questions, and then I give you a personalized roadmap of how to get you where you want to be. So that's what it is. Just you have questions, and I have the answers. I answer them all. I give you personalized advice on what to do, after I answer all your questions, and you get like pretty much a step-by-step roadmap of how to get your first client, how to do everything. And it's like, it's not gonna be like a general answer. Like overall, it's gonna be like, okay, do this. Step one is do this. Step two is do that, etc., etc. So that's pretty much everything you're gonna get. So feel free to book another session or all that stuff. So yeah, if there's nothing else, I'm gonna end the stream. Thanks so much, guys, for joining. I'll see you guys soon.